Northern Nigeria today, going by the recent declaration of the president of this country, Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is, of course, a rape to our democracy. It is a rape to the system of what we believe that originally would have lead us to a proper development and advancement of our system. I started by chanting the IJAW because the IJAW has been the chanting that has been a thorn in the flesh of many persons. When some persons will come out to the open media in saying that very soon Asawana will be a thing of the past. A minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will look at himself and only discover one thing that has been a thorn of his flesh, saying Asawana will be of a thing of the past. IJAW, Asawana, we will not stop chanting the Asawana and let the Asawana kill whosoever that will want to be killed. The IJAW people remains very fearless. We are quite, of course, very hospitable, accommodative. We accommodate everybody. We love our neighbors, our friends and brothers from various ethnic nationalities. The Ikweres, the Ogonis, the Urobo, the Shekiri, the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Igbos are our brothers. And for over time, the IJAWs have been trading and dealing with them peacefully, sharing our common wealth and God-given divine wealth without no grudges. The wealth which we are talking about has been the wealth that has been sustaining the nation Nigeria. We've never grumbled or complained. But today, this is where we have found ourselves, where the IJAW nation today decisively or politically has been the problem of the country today, being by the declaration of our president, respected President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We respect him, he's our father, he's the president of the country. The IJAW people will continually to support the system in growing and in advancing the cause. But what the IJAW nation will not take and what the IJAW nation will not tolerate is for one man to stand up in his right senses, as it may seem, to spit on the grave of our ancestors. The IJAW nation will never tolerate that. The IJAW nation will never tolerate one man, one single man that the IJAW nation spoon-fed, gave him life to breathe, gave him all it takes to become who he is today, to come and spit on the grave of our ancestors. Popo Sisi. Popo Sisi. We fear no evil. The IJAW man fears no evil. We will rebel. We will go against it by every means necessary. Mr. President of this country, we are your people. We have loved your decisive and pattern of administration. The IJAW people are still willing to work with you. We will work with you. We will work in seeing that you see the daylight and the prospects of what you have envisaged in putting this country in the right course. But please, kindly call the Minister of FCT to order. Call him to order that the IJAW people are saying we will not want to see any form of such derogatory statements, disrespectful statement, abusive statement to the IJAW ethnic nationality. This is where I rest my case. IJAW.
Organization stands for unity of the Niger Delta people. But we do not support any injustice against one particular tribe. His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu pronouncing state of emergency in Rivers State without the backup of the National Assembly. We find out that our father and our leader, who has been in the front line, those who have been following up Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we know that he's a man who stood in opposition all the days of his life. Even when he became the governor of Lagos State, become the senator, he has played an opposition party. And he stood up to against injustice in this country. And we don't think in his own time that people around him will mislead him, misinform him to do a grave danger to this country. And I believe the peace of this country is very important. When we talk about Nigeria, Nigeria belongs to everybody. And Niger Delta is also a region on its own that always contributing for the economic development of this country. And whatever things that go wrong in the Niger Delta region would entirely affect the whole country. Which I believe that Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, our father, you have to rethink and look at your statement of state of emergency in Rivers State. Even at that, you declare the emergency in Rivers State, bringing somebody out of the whole Niger Delta. Bring somebody from Cross River State to be. We are talking about River State issue. And you are all, our Niger Delta leaders, South leaders, Pandev, met with him on the 11th of this month. March. And he has given them a directive to this able prominent committee to look at these issues and resolve it. And I see no reason why state of emergency will now come when you have given assignment, directive to leaders, critical stakeholders from the Niger Delta after dining and discussing with them in a villa on the twinkle of eyes, state of emergency. I want to advise our father and our president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, IJAW people are not your enemy. IJAW people are not your enemy. If anybody is there in the villa giving you wrong information about IJAW people, the person is not helping you at all. The IJAW people are the largest ethnic group in the Niger Delta and the fourth largest ethnic group in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I think as a commander-in-chief, whatever things that go wrong in this country, Mr. President, you have to look the peace, unity, and progress of this country. And I believe the whole Niger Delta, the whole legal practitioners, everybody, NBA, everybody is not happy what is going on, including the youth of the Niger Delta region and the concerned youth of Nigeria. The most important thing is that you are the president of everybody. And in a country, when a leadership do not support an opposition government, then there will be no development. Mr. President, you know, you have been in the front line of speaking against injustice in this country. Even when you were a governor in Lagos State, when Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was the president, the state allocation of Lagos State was stripped down by the leadership of administrator of Olusegun Obasanjo. The whole Nigeria criticized that until Yar'Adua came in. The Lagos State money was released. When you say anybody is fighting Sim Fubara, it is not about you are fighting Sim Fubara. Nobody is fighting Sim Fubara. Stopping the allocation of the state is that you are fighting the people of River State. So my president, our father, our leader, don't listen to wrong advice. And I will tell you as our father that the people who are advising you are planning to bring you down for your 2027 election.
Yeah.
You don't need to create more enemies. It is time as a president of this country to look at how to alliance with people, make more collaboration effort to make sure that people come down to work for you. But with what is going on, there are a lot of issues going on. The Northerners have their own problem. If Niger Delta also have their own problem, Mr. President, nobody should deceive you, Mr. President. There is a big problem. We want peace and we want unity. Thank you and God bless you.
Recent developments coming out of River State, which says that Sim Fubara, an IJAW man, who is the governor of River State, has been suspended. And then we have an interim administration in River State, thereby declaring a state of emergency by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I would like to take us back and then let us think about this critically. Because in my opinion, this is about the sovereignty of River State. First of all, I will ask this question. What is the issue between the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, and Sim Fubara? It is an issue whereby they have come together. The Minister of FCT, as a godfather, has come to discuss how to divide our collective patrimony as Rivers people. How we are going to share Rivers money. Is that a democratic way of life? No. That is not democracy. So where Sim Fubara has refused on those terms, it has degenerated to what we have right now today in Rivers State, whereby the president has come and openly taken a side. I will tell Mr. President that, Mr. President, we are losing trust in your leadership. We are losing trust in your ability. We are losing trust. We are losing trust in your ability to lead Nigeria aright as one entity. You cannot take laws into your hands. You are the chief president of the country. You are the chief security officer of the country. So we expect you to lead us as a father. We have two people who have differences. Yes, this is political. Today, you have helped Nyesom Wike in taking over and making River State a free for all. I will tell you something. We have states in Nigeria. We have a state also called Cross River State. And in Cross River State, there's a governor that is a Cross Riverian. So why in River State, in this modern day democracy, where's the place of the Rivers man? So you're trying to tell us that there's no place for a Rivers man? You said they blew up pipeline. They blew one pipeline for goodness sake. We'll try to call you and Mr. President to let you know that please do not set a bad precedent. So are you trying to tell us that if today, while sitting down here, we hear a pipeline goes off in Bayelsa State, you declare a state of emergency? Is that how you hope to take over the whole Niger Delta with Nyesom Wike? We stand against this. All of this we perceive as totally draconian and undemocratic. And we will say no to it. We will say no to it and we will resist it until you give us what is democratic. How? A pipeline blew. Have we confirmed that that pipeline was blown by IJAW? Hands up! I will tell you that pipeline was blown in Gokana. That is not an IJAW land. So where did the IJAWs go from to blow that pipeline? So if another ethnic group, the Ekpeyes, blow up a pipeline, you now declare a state of emergency when there is an IJAW governor. We will tell you something. For 24 years, Rivers State has been ruled by other ethnic groups. And then they have also developed their places. This is the time where an IJAW man is there, and also to develop the IJAW land. To cross our places, the bridges and the interlands, which we fought for. This is our time to also enjoy the governance of Rivers State. We tell you, Mr. President, please remove your hands from this, act as a father, and don't truncate the peace in the Niger Delta. I rest my case.
Ethnic nationality, because an IJAW son, who happens to be a governor in Rivers State, was unjustly, in a coup attempt, suspended, which is undemocratical. That has never happened in the history of this nation. Yes, there are processes to declaring state of emergency, but were those processes followed? No. And that is why we are here. So I will take the summary of our communique as being prepared by IJAW elders, stakeholders, opinion leaders, as we are all seated there. This conference on the coup attempt by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria by the coalition of concerned IJAW stakeholders in FCT, Northern Nigeria. Gentlemen of the press, this press conference is called to draw attention to the very dire situation concerning democracy in Nigeria and abuse of power using military and police forces against the people and democracy. The 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, as amended in brackets, which is the constitution the president and all the governors swore to uphold and protect, has been set aside by Bola Tinubu, with the head of the armed forces and the police to illegally remove the elected governor and government officials of Rivers State, a state in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria and one of the leading oil production centers in the country. This he has done to force the elected governor and state officials to decamp to his political party in his ongoing attempt at making Nigeria a one-party dictatorship and to enforce its return to office for a second time at all costs. The Attorney General of the country, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, has been an accomplice in this endeavor and has been credited with facilitating the orchestration of this gross illegality to allow for the declaration of a state of emergency to truncate the Constitution of Nigeria. In the light of the foregoing, this network of IJAW pressure groups and law-abiding citizens are calling on the international community and the world at large, particularly the Democrats, including the United Kingdom, President of the United Nations, the European Union, the United Nations, the African Union, ECOWAS, and other international institutions to take urgent steps to free the people of Nigeria from this emerging despotic regime bent on abusing the institutions and instruments of state to entrench evil, nepotistic, dangerous, authoritarian, and corrupt and undemocratic practices in Nigeria. The Constitution is so clear and unambiguous on the issue of status and removal of democratically elected officials, and we are concerned that the Attorney General, Fagbemi, a very senior lawyer, would allow himself to be used to perpetrate this clear rape on our democracy, despite taking an oath to defend the Constitution. He is therefore unworthy of his office and should be sanctioned for abusing his oath as a lawyer called to the bar, a senior advocate, and a minister of the Federal Republic, Nigeria. The situation is grave and has the potential of people resorting to self-help if the president, who has chosen the path of lawlessness, coercion, violence, and abuse of office to force citizens to support his one-party dictatorship agenda, is not stopped by people of goodwill. It is imperative to recall some specific actions of the president, who has been supporting Minister Nyesom Wike, former opposition party member, who has now become the arrowhead used by President Tinubu to create chaos both in the main opposition parties and in Rivers State, all in an attempt to subjugate the will of the people and truncate multi-party democracy in Nigeria. The president ordered an elected governor to resign, a fraudulent agreement asking him to cede some of his power as an elected governor to the same minister, Nyesom Wike, who continues to use military and law enforcement officials to kill and intimidate people, including elected officials, and forcing those who have different views to go into hiding. The president is accusing an elected governor of one of the federating states of the union of misconduct, seems to have assumed and arrogated powers of the judiciary to himself and all in an attempt to take control of the state and entrench unconstitutional quasi-military rule. This document on this day, 19th March 2025, is signed by the coalition of stakeholders in FCT and the northern part of Nigeria. The INC is here, the IJAW Women Leadership Forum is here, Wakrike Community Abuja, IJAW Community Abuja, Delta IJAW Community Abuja, Arigbe Community Abuja, Opobo Community Abuja, Andoni Community Abuja, Naibs and Niger Delta activist Musen is here. And then we have the IJAW Traditional Rulers and Opinion Leaders Association in Abuja, Kalabari Kobri, and the Boni Community Abuja. My name is Comrade Mrs. Rosemary John.